Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to another Sunday's Talk in Town. I am your host, the Governor. Let's get things out of the way nice and early. Don't forget, this podcast is brought to you in partnership with Ipswich Buses, taking you places. Go contactless across all routes. Tickets and fares start from as cheap as £1.30 for a single or £2.20 for a return. An all-day adult ticket is only £4.70. So in the cost of living crisis, not too bad a value there from Ipswich Buses. In fact, fantastic value, I would say. And of course, you can go into town on days like today, have a couple of beers, get the bus home, and everyone's a winner. That's Ipswich Buses, taking you places across Ipswich. Welcome in, welcome one, welcome all. The chat is absolutely buzzing. We absolutely like that. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, share this to all your ITFC fans and friends. If you know an ITFC fan in your life, get this show to them. They will thank you for it. We've got Cruncher coming up. We've got Matt coming up. We're going to discuss 5 substitutes. We've got a transfer rumour. Blues deny the interest in a Luton striker, but would Rich or Matt or both take him? Lots coming up. But it's the summer. I'm missing seeing all of your wonderful faces at Portman Road, being amongst the buzz. Not long now. I see today tickets to Needham Market Friendly went on sale. I'm not quite sure if I'll be going myself, but still, it's the start, my friends. We can finally see the start of a new campaign. But there's a few loose ends to tie up from the last campaign, which is our prize winners. If you finished top of our fantasy football league, please DM the Twitter account. I can't remember the name of the team right now, but I have got the league table. So if you know who you are, you know if you won or not. Mr. Woods, I will get in contact with you for your prize. And the second prize for our prediction league was Emerson Fairweather. It was drawn on Wednesday's show with the Fisherman, and it was Emerson Fairweather. So, Emerson, get in touch with the social media accounts, and we will sort out you with a prize the moment I've found the prize bag. Anyhow, let's get some comments. Colin Plum. Good afternoon, Gov, Richard, Matt, and everyone. Matt is currently on the A12, I think. He will be with us. Just when, I don't know. The Cruncher will be a few minutes late starting. Yes, we were. My fault entirely. Andy is at the airport waiting for a flight, because that's what you do at airports. Stephen Perry, love the quiet from the club. We know deals are being done, but while it's quiet, more chance of getting those we want. Colin agreed with Stephen, but last season was interesting. Not brilliant, though. Again, Stephen Perry, I like the fact we can use 5 subs. Stephen's already involved in that. Right, let's go ahead and bring in the Cruncher while you just, take the easy route, take the easy option and smash the like button. The Cruncher, Richard Moss.
You're talking out of Kim.
One of the finer moments of last year. Talking in Town. Welcome in, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Daddy daycare today. The other half has gone for a spa day.
What, on a Sunday when she knows there's a show on? How rude.
Shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Over breakfast, it was a bombshell. I had been told.
You didn't know?
No, apparently I did. I had been told. I do remember a conversation once about would I mind? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, it'll be fine.
Well, you're in now.
So this morning we've been to Felixstowe. We've had a paddle in the sea. We had a look at their what they call a market these days. It's not really like it used to be. And we've just between me, you, and the lamppost. Do not tell Mrs. HDR. We have just had a Happy Meal from McDonald's. But shh on that one. That's between me and you.
Will she not be watching back?
She'd be too pampered up, wouldn't she? She'd she'll float in tonight, won't she? You know what I mean? Because she's all pampered up. Not there like.
What time? What time is she back?
I don't know. God knows. Don't know. But that's why I was late, because I was getting the young one down for his nap.
So he might wake up at any time, and you might have to fly out.
I will have to fly out. Yeah, and then Matt phones me at 20 past 1, saying going to be a bit late. Currently on the A12.
The Mogul's home. He just messaged me saying he's just making a cup of tea. So he will be here shortly, folks. He will be here shortly.
But you know, it's been an interesting week, been a long week. We can't really proceed through a show without talking about the situation, about the moment. You know, Kit Day that was dubbed, then wasn't. Well, this is why we had to talk about it, because obviously you could look. All
I done was got a message and just dangled it out there, and then everyone's like, "Oh,
you got them all on string."
Now I've heard it's either someone told me it's tomorrow, and someone else telling me it's Friday, so it could come at any time. It'd be this week, surely.
I would have thought it would be this week. Yes, yes. I've got a theory. That somebody at Portman Road literally just sees you tweet and then he goes, right, hold it for another 24 hours. Nah, he's tweeted about it. Cancel it. Call it off.
All the Adidas stuff's gone from the shop. All the signage. I do know that the photo shoot took place in the middle of May for the new kit anyway. So that's already been done. Oh. So it's going to be Umbro. We know it is. But I think Martin's got some nice designs coming up this afternoon. Oh, you've not done them? Oh.
Well, I've done one. But it's not yours. Matt's? I've done. Yes, I've done Matt's.
Unbelievable. He's late.
Yours. Well, then let's rewind this story, because I asked you at the Killers, which are a great band. So I didn't ask.
Lee Anderson was there. George Nunn couldn't believe I was in Norwich, and he said he'd listen. So how was it, Nunny? He's in the chat. Could you hear it?
There you go. I'll ask him. But what it was is you were at the Killers, so I delayed asking you the question, and then when I did ask you, I got busy, and I thought I'll do that Sunday morning. It'll be my night. It'll be a Sunday morning job. Cup of coffee. Lovely little bit of art, a little bit of artwork.
Yeah, blame Mrs. L.
Yeah, but Matt's got his, so Matt can give us his Dragon's Den style pitch this afternoon of why this kit that he has come up with, or told me to come up with, should be the kit. But Mark Tuxford, is it Umbro? Is that confirmed?
I think it's not a secret, Mark. I think that the club have started following. Lee, how do you know that I was on my phone? If you were watching me all night, I'm a little bit worried.
Hang on, you're there to see a band. You're listening, surely. Like, it doesn't matter if you're on your phone or not.
A few videos. Oh, and Lee took a picture of me, and then he took a picture of the stand, then he sent me a video. So Lee, you must have been on your phone as well.
He sent a picture of you?
Yeah, he spotted me in the crowd.
Well, yeah, not hard to spot you.
Best thing, apparently, he's seen that Carrow Road for years. The Killers.
Well,
Blossoms. If anyone in the chat knows the Blossoms were supporting, and they were absolutely fantastic. So go
George says
the Blossoms are. They come from Stockport. So.
Not really, mate. Wind was probably in the wrong direction.
Well, if you've got wind in Norfolk, well, there you go.
Well, I just want to know: are you human or are you dancer?
Well,
did they play that?
Song. But they did have a girl, right? So for one of the songs, Lee will know. They have someone comes up and drums.
Yeah.
And this girl called Grace goes to college, or she's doing AS. I was reading it was on the East Anglian. She come from Galston, and I'll tell you what, Martin, you can YouTube it because it's on YouTube. She got up there and she looked absolutely petrified.
Well, you would.
But then I'll tell you, incredible, absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, I knew they did that, and I knew they were doing that because the morning of, actually, they had a chap on the 5 Live Drive Home show, and he had been on in Falkirk.
Yeah, Falkirk was. I think that was the night before, wasn't it?
Yeah, but or wherever it was, because he was called up and he was in a band, and it was just, they always had this little segment where they bring. I wouldn't say a nobody onto the show.
They said it's not staged because she had a sign. That was how she got picked. She held this sign up, and I said to my missus, "You're not going to get up on stage, Martin, in front of about 30,000 of these shit, though, are you? Let's be honest. You've got to have some ability if you're going to want to go up there. So But yeah, she was incredible. She was,
and you've got to have some guts as well. Like even if you are pretty shit hot, you've still got to have some guts.
Maybe if the Mogul was there, they could have got Mogul up to sing. He could have sung Christmas Telly with Brandon Flowers.
Could have sung Chasing the Sun. Bow, 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 bow. Liam, does anyone actually know when the kit is being announced? Is it going to be this week? Well, yeah. Is it going to be this week? Oh shit, my watch just fell off. Is it going to be this week?
Monday or Friday? Apparently,
Monday or Friday, according to Crunch.
It could be Wednesday.
But Crunch is about as reliable as Michael Fish in 1987.
Even the clock's right twice in the day.
He certainly wasn't that day.
I remember that. We had a massive oak tree in our garden, Martin, that got blown over. And luckily, it went over the road. And I just remember, it's not going to be.
There is no hurricane coming.
Don't worry about it.
5 million plus Pigott for Twine, says George Huggins.
Plus Pigott? They'd rather have Simpson.
Would they?
Yeah, of course they would.
Okay, all right. We've got nothing is fantastic at Carrot Road, says the goat.
Well, I was very lucky, Martin, because they were serving the beers. They were putting them in them paper cups, and obviously they were green and yellow with all Norwich fucking shit. But I was lucky; they kept mine in the bottle.
That'll be us in a couple of years, because obviously we've now nicked their head guy, haven't we, who does their sort of live, he's come across here. He's come to a big club in East Anglia because he's now earned his apprenticeship skills at the small club, and he's here to deliver the top results. Yeah.
They've had concerts at Portman Road before, Martin, but obviously they want to do that on a regular basis, don't they?
Do you reckon old Eddie Sheeran will have a concert at Portman Road in time of this second year?
Somewhere. I know Yatesy was at the Etihad last night. He was watching Ed there. He's been all over. He done Chantry Park, didn't he? I'd be very surprised, Martin, if he didn't play Portman Road.
I'd have thought it's too small for him, though, wouldn't it? Really?
Yeah, I know it is.
Because he sold out the whole park across the road, didn't he?
4. He done 4 gigs, didn't he? He started with 2 and then they done 4. I think he will play Portman Road. I think he will in the end. I'll be surprised if he didn't.
Should make it a season ticket exclusive event.
Well,
imagine the hysteria. Cool. Imagine that. Your season ticket finally might be worth something. You can set up the black market. I've got one season ticket here for 10 grand to see Ed Sheeran. Only 35 people getting. I'm joking, by the way, for those that are listening from law enforcement. George Huggins, why do we keep? Hang on, sorry. Why do EFL keep helping Derby? They let Bury FC rot. One rule for one. Not yeah. What's going on with Derby?
I don't know. I know that obviously he's it's fallen through. The guy who was supposed to be buying them. Listen, no one wants to see any football clubs go to the wall because it's always the fans, Martin, who suffer. Yeah. But there has to come a time where it's 2 weeks away from obviously less than 2 weeks now from the fixtures. They need to know if they're going to be able to complete the season, don't they? Really?
They do. Absolutely.
Whatever happens, it needs to be moving quickly. And in a way, look, I hope that Derby don't go to the wall. No one wants that. But if they got all their shit in order, they would have been a strong contender this season coming. The longer it goes,
they still could be.
Yeah, but it's going to be very difficult. They've only got 5 players literally at the minute. That's all they've got. So,
sorry.
And I don't think Rooney will hang on, will he? There'll be clubs come calling for him. I would have thought.
We spoke about this in the WhatsApp group to me, and I am obviously known as some people as guillotine gov. I'm notoriously hard nosed. I don't like Gillingham, for example. And I said, fuck them, let them go, right? And you said, what, to the wall? And I said, hang on, I'm not that heartless.
I did actually think you were actually, see him to go down the path.
I meant just put them down in, like the conference or whatever. Don't actually want to let them go to the wall. Even I, guillotine gov, I'm not that hard-nosed. Like, I don't want to see a club go under. That's not nice.
But there has to be sort of a cut-off point because it's right in the chat there about Bury. And then obviously Bolton were like minutes from going out of existence, weren't they? So there does have to come... Look, no one's been paid again.
Then again, you reap what you sow, and that's not the fans' fault. But I'm pretty sure the fans weren't upset when they were spending money like it was a bit of, like tap war.
This is why the fans always suffer, though, don't they, Martin? They're the ones who suffer it, and there's not just the players. You've got everyone who works at the football club. Backroom staff,
for sure.
Tea lady, groundsman, everybody. It all affects them. It's just a knock-on effect, isn't it? Footballers, look. footballers, they're in a privileged position because I know they've not been paid, but that's not really probably going to affect some of them. You know, I was listening to Curtis Davis, he was on TalkSport, and he's had a really good career in the game. And he's not been paid, which he's probably not going to be happy with, but it's not going to be say that I didn't get paid for a month, you know, and you're really going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely can see that. We got a viewer from Benidorm, James Warren Elmer, watching from sunny Benidorm. Love talking.
Subscribe. Get around the pool. Do your
as we come into holiday season. Let me know where you're going because I've got some Talking Town stickers I want people to take as far as they can and slap them on places. Get TT out and about. Well, yeah. I mean, people are like, you know, I want people to.
Anyway, I've booked my holiday for next year.
Exactly.
It's already in.
Road.
Already in the books for next year.
When do we go? When
2 days after the playoff final. We'll be celebrating.
Nice. Are we in separate rooms?
We got a swim up pool apparently.
Beautiful.
Swim up to your room.
I do like a good swim up pool.
But did you know one thing about me? I can't swim. But you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
No. Can't swim. Can't swim. My missus keeps saying, look, everyone can swim. I cannot swim. She says, go and have swimming lessons. I'm not going to the local swimming pool and having lessons with 5-year-olds who piss in the pool. No. And talking of pissing, did you see about Forest Green last night? Did you get that, what I sent you?
No, I didn't read it. I didn't have time.
Did you not read it? So Forest Green are going to, they're having something where they're going to use the piss from the away fans and they're going to have it sort of...
I did. I skimmed read it, yeah.
And they're going to use it to water the pitch with. So careful if you're having any slide tackles when we go there, town players. Covered in loads of piss.
Yeah, well, you know.
Where is the mogul? What is he doing?
He's coming in. I'm just sort of digesting.
This is unbelievable.
The fact that you know
we start at 1:30, Matt, every single Sunday. Come on.
He's fine. It's the summer. We'll allow lateness for summer. How's these grab you then? What about these? You know, we need to get you swimming. What about some of these?
Batman armbands. Can't we have some talking town? Nick Muller, I can't swim. Look, I don't know what happened when I was younger because I don't mind going in the water, but only up to my sort of level. When I just there you go. Look, Gavin Law, he can't swim either. I'm not the only one.
No, certainly not the only one. There's nothing wrong in that at all. But you could always learn. It's it's good. Right. Anyway, let's bring him in. The Media Mogul.
We've just lost the teenagers. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Matt Phillips. Hello, Matt. You all right?
How you doing? I knew Rich couldn't swim. He's told me that before. Hey, I've been here since 22.
He's on Fergie time. How are you? Well?
You been watching the cricket?
No, I've been. My in-laws have moved, so we've been to their house today, and it's.
Did they tell you?
In Earlscone.
Earlscone.
Yeah.
I used to play football there when I was a youngster. They used to be our rivals, Matt. There's Chapel and Waitescone. There's Earlscone.
Yeah. So it's out there, and it's all back. It's all back country lanes, isn't it? So it took a day to get back.
Nice round there.
Easy.
You had a good chat there, killers.
Hang on, I'm just one of rivals. How old were you?
I think it was like under 11s, under 12s. We used to have to change in a back garden. And they had a swimming pool, and I remember one morning, Matt, we played there, and it was really frosty, right? And this was, I think it was under 12s or under 13s, and the guy Paul Gaffin was our coach, right? So it was a big rivalry. I remember once there was this guy. He used to run the line for him. They used to call him the poser, Martin, because he used to wear a shell suit. And they had a bit of a set two after one game. But we went over there. It was a frosty morning. Probably shouldn't have played. This lad's turned up for them. It looked like he turned up on his moped. So Paul, the coach's son, was going to play. And he was like 2 or 3 years. And he came down in his kit. It was all obviously 2 sizes too small. He didn't play in the end. It was a 2-2 draw. And I think I actually scored that day. How was your day of the cricket? How was the night at Friday? The Mogul went to Chelmsford.
It was good. I had quite a few pints for me. I had 4 or 5 pints, which is quite a lot for me. I can't actually remember walking home, but I can remember going to bed. But the journey from the ground to the house.
That's 5 pints.
Yeah. Well, I'd not had any dinner either, so I'd not eaten anything.
Well, it's a bit Larry, isn't it, T20?
Yeah, it was good. No, I liked it. We got Larry in the pavilion. There was a bit of a ruckus over whose pint was whose. Not involving me. I was just in the queue. But I was ready to throw down if necessary.
Of course you were. Listen to it. Absolute idiot. What on earth? You couldn't throw a wet flannel.
And a good win for Essex.
It was a good win. 60 runs, if I got that right. It was about 60 runs.
I did
wasn't
tell
it?
you.
I can't remember that.
I did tell you. I did text you saying if you get Eskenazi, who's the captain of the Essex out, we will win, and he was out in the first over. So
I've got a theory that if you banned alcohol sales from cricket and darts, you wouldn't have a sport.
No, we was right in front of the pavilion on them benches, Rich. So he was right by the bar as well. Good.
He didn't go for the old bat and ball. He went for the owl and the glasses. He was. That's all he went.
In a couple of weeks, isn't you? You're going again.
Yeah. July the 2nd, Glamorgan.
Yeah, I'll be at Lords. I'll be at Lords in Thursday week watching the T20. I'll be there. A few beers down at Lords.
Still, I got a paint. George asked, would Cruncher take Lawrence back on a free transfer?
We spoke about this the other week, didn't we?
Every day of the week, Tom Lawrence. I'll drive and pick him up because he probably can't drive.
No, probably can't. You're right. Let's start with Nation Leagues before we get to Ipswich Town. So Nations League, yesterday, apparently, I didn't see it. I don't care. England played Italy in a behind closed doors, whatever. 0-0. Glorified friendlies.
Went behind closed doors.
There's 1,000 there, wasn't there?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they were playing, to be honest with you. What did I watch instead? Oh, The Time Traveller's Wife. I'm very, very hip with my sport, as you can see. Glorified friendlies. Why are we playing football still in the middle of June? At what point? At what point do the players actually club together, form a proper union, and say?
It's like Gareth Bale said. They keep going on about player welfare. He said, Martin, and we're playing into June. You know, the Champions League's late, and then you've got around 4 rounds of this. I'm actually going Tuesday night to Molineux to watch England Hungary. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better game than.
I can't be arsed in those games. I'm like Martin. I can't be bothered to watch them. It's better things to be getting on with, isn't there? Watching.
Unless it's a tournament, just big international football. So where's the time? Huh?
I said he's got better things to do, putting up his shelves.
They're coming up very soon. Actually, I've got somebody coming to do them very soon.
Our shelves, yeah, might have still got to put them cupboards up.
But no, seriously, this is a major tournament. What is the actual point of international football?
Well, did you know, Matt, that if the World Cup had started at normal time, we would have been the second day of the World Cup today,
and probably heading out.
We've been cheated out of summer football, haven't we? Like proper summer football. We've been cheated out of that.
You say that, but in a way, it's actually worked in England's favour for once because our form at the moment is absolutely diabolical. Probably be out of the group stage.
But do you read too much into these games? Like you're saying, they're playing now, and the players are on their holidays. There's a lot of changes going on. Do they really want to play? Do they really want to be playing into June? They should be on their holidays.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't fault them. I can't fault them at all. But something that did happen yesterday, and I listened to it on the radio while I was in with my birds, was obviously that Ireland completely rolled over Scotland. So much so that I logged into Twitter this morning to send Rich the link, and somebody is suggesting Troy Parrott suddenly. Rich is on board. Okay,
I agree. I think there's definitely a player there. I don't think we see the best of him when he was at Town before. And I don't know what Matt thinks. I thought when I see him last year for MK, I thought he really impressed. I think he'd suit Kieran McKenna's way of playing. I really do.
You mentioned him a couple of weeks back, didn't you? Again, you thought
I like
he might be someone on your list. What did he get a brace last night?
He scored one, didn't he? You see that Obafemi's goal, Martin? If you haven't seen Obafemi, the Swansea guy, the third goal, it's an absolute screamer. But they have been in absolutely stinking form, haven't they, Republic of Ireland? And they absolutely battered the Scots.
They did.
Lewis Robertson, a little bit quiet. Didn't mention it.
When your main attacking threat is McGinn, you have an issue. You have an issue.
Yeah.
Like when the commentary saying we need to get McGinn started. Don't know who that is.
Oh, Parrott was good in flashes.
What about the Loch Ness Drogba, man?
The Loch Ness Drogba, yeah. Well, I was going to say Parrott was good in flashes for us, but what was it? 1 in 17, I think he scored.
Yeah.
He did look maybe he was just more comfortable at MK and playing with a younger manager. Is he still a Spurs player, or did MK buy him?
Yeah,
he's still at Spurs.
Still at Tottenham.
Yeah. So that McKenna link obviously comes into play as well. EJ, one of our latest YouTube members, we love you, EJ. He asked what was the Scotland score. We'll let Lewis answer that. He's in the chat. I can see him. We'll let Lewis tell you what the score was, being a Scotsman, proud Scotsman.
Yeah.
He would also take Parrott. Improved massive. Well, he went there once.
This is what annoys me a little bit. I'm going to go into one here a little bit.
Oh Christ, here we go.
So Wes Burns is playing for Wales at the minute, and I've heard England fans saying, "Oh, I'm not watching England. I'm really enjoying watching."
I can't blame them. England are shite.
It's in the fucking bin. When England play Wales in the World Cup, Wales are playing great football. Piss off. I'm not having it. Wes Burns will not even make the plane. He won't make the plane. He won't make the plane for Wales.
Well, why is he going to miss it?
He won't get in the squad. I don't think he makes the squad.
When do they have to name squads?
Knowing UEFA, when they're on the plane. That's how late they like to have squads formalised, to give everyone a chance.
So we could do with Burns in and out of the team for the start of the campaign, and he stays in the team.
Matt, why are all these people watching Wales and liking Wales? Nobody watches England wants us to win. Who are Welsh and Scots and Irish.
I'll tell you why. Because when you're watching Wales, you are watching it not as a fan that's got something at stake in it. So you're watching it as a neutral. So you see passion, you see thunder, you see some good football. When you're watching it as an England fan, from experience, and I think I'm going to speak for them for this, and I've not spoken to anybody who's done this, but you're nervous, you're tense. It's like watching Town play. You always think, why can't Town play ever play that way? Sometimes we do. You're just so tense and nervous while you're watching it. You don't actually appreciate the style of football you're seeing because you're like, where's this goal? We need this, we need that. When you're watching Wales, you're watching Wes Burns, you're watching players you roughly know, but not invested in. It's just like going on holiday. Everyone goes on holiday and goes, why can't we live here?
Yeah, I'd like to live here. Yeah, exactly.
Ain't got elf service. If you lost your job, you wouldn't have a benefit.
Matt, I found out this morning, Matt wouldn't go to Greece because you have to put your toilet roll in a bin.
Yeah. If you haven't got adequate sewage system,
get the old bidet out.
I'm gone. Well, I used to think the bidet was just for cleaning your feet. That's what my dad told me. You come back from the beach, you go stick your feet in there. I thought that for years until someone told me it was what it was actually for.
Get your backside in there, son. Don't need any loo roll then, do you? Job's a good one.
I think, it's good that Ipswich fans are like invested. I always say don't get too emotionally invested in players, don't I? But I suppose it's a novelty, isn't it? Seeing an Ipswich player play for someone. I don't really consider myself English anyway. I always say I'm British. So then you've got the caveat of 4 home nations, then, haven't you?
Don't lie. You always consider yourself Italian.
You're not supporting Andy Murray at Wimbledon?
Yeah, there you go.
When I saw us playing Italy, I thought, I wonder who Matt will be supporting. That was my first thought. So I know how you like to be Forza. Is it Forza Italy?
Forza Italia, yeah.
Nonsense.
Well, I like Italy, and as you know, Lizzie was brought up in Germany, so I like Germany as well. Well, yeah, at the end of the day, I would support England against those, but I like those 2 nations. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and I think everybody would when you've got that in English blood coursing through your veins. But at the moment, it's glorified friendly, isn't it? That's all it is. Yeah. BJ, if Burns does make the World Cup squad, we'll miss him hard. So you say he won't make the squad then, Rich?
Look, the squad they had for the Nations League, I think there's about 28 players, and they've had a few injuries. And look, it's brilliant that he's got 2 caps. But look, I'm being... Look, if I'm being on a human level, I'd love to see Wes go to the World Cup. I really would, because it's what you dream of when you're a kid. Playing football as a kid, and you're thinking, yeah, I'd love to play for my nation at a World Cup. So... But I don't really give a shit about Wales. I care about Ipswich Town. I want him playing in a blue shirt for us in November, running up and down the wing, not sitting on the bench in Qatar, topping up his suntan.
I used to have this debate a lot with people I worked with, and they were always horrified that I would always take Ipswich to get promoted or a title over England winning the World Cup. And I'd go, but it means so much to the nation. I said, you bet Ipswich getting promoted or winning a title means more to me. So that used to be like the debate. So yeah, give me Ipswich getting promoted over England winning the World Cup in Qatar every day of the week.
I just wonder if there's any, obviously we talked recently about player recruitment, and Mark Ashton on the show said about how we look into certain things, Brexit affecting one of them. Read the Athletic article where South America could be a good hunting ground for English clubs because of visa points, etc. I just wonder if you go and nick a couple of young up and coming on the fringes international players just to give you that quota.
Get some Iranians in.
Whatever it might be. No, I'm talking about players that have got good promise. You don't go and get anybody because you need to do a certain thing. but promising young players that equally then push you over that line. So we all have a month off in November. You know?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
fancy that. I don't want to play during the World Cup. Makes us tin pot. Tin pot. You know, you got the Canaries up the road where they're having their feet up, drinking their the pina coladas.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, who'd want to? If you was on the fringes, though, who'd want to come to the League One team, though?
I don't know. I don't think the Ecuadorian league's like much good.
Now they're talking about Aaron Lennon has left Burnley. Did you see that? And there's talk of him coming to a League One side. Now, was Aaron Lennon at Spurs when McKenna was there? Was he do 250 odd appearances there? And he's getting on with it. Was he 34?
Well, funny you should say that. Lewis messaged me last night out the box for a left wing back, and he said Ashley Young, and I thought, have you been drinking? No, we don't want Ashley Young. No, thank you.
Where is he at the moment?
He's been released by Villa.
He was at Inter Milan, wasn't he, for a bit?
Yeah,
was
won the league.
Yeah,
he won the league under what's his name? The Spurs coach. Can't remember his name. What's his name, Matt?
Conte.
Yeah, he won the league under him, didn't he? Then he went to Villa.
That's right.
And obviously Gerrard's released him, but he's been a good player, good professional, but no.
He has.
Stephen Carey, carrying a Luco.
I just think he will miss out. He's getting 10 minutes now and again, not going to make enough worthwhile for Ipswich. Connor Robertson and Nico Williams is ahead of him, says Mike D. That's what about Wes Burns. And still, after the way they celebrated when England were knocked out of the Euros the other year, I have no interest in Welsh football.
100%, Anthony. That is, come on. I can get on board with that. What I can't get on board with is Ant's views on the sponsor shirt, because he was getting absolutely battered in the week on Twitter, wasn't he?
I like Ed. Local boy done good, multi-millionaire. If he wants to drop off a brown envelope, he's more than welcome to, because I'm poor. So anyway, Colin Plum, we used to have 10 full international players and still finish in the top 10 every season and won things as well. Yeah. There you go.
Now, I was saying about the when they announced Sheeran as a sponsor, they should have done that with the new shirt, I think.
But why would you waste two?
Well, you said that. Yeah. I do get that. But, you know, I just felt like that was a good piece of exposure for a bit of merch that you want to get out there to the mainstream rather than Ipswich Town fans.
No, you're not going to. When Sheeran's name is plastered on it, you're not going to. He literally, he's like George Foreman. You know, that level of fame where you stick a name on it, they're going to buy it. Is he going to
unveil the kit at one of his concerts like Robbie Williams did for Port Vale? He come out in the new shirt, didn't he? That's how they did it.
They say, Town is so good, I'll put my name on it.
There you go. Ben's just said it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stephen Parrott, I buy the shirt. Don't care who the shirt or main sponsor is.
Well, Magical Vegas, I refuse to get that. That was a horrendous logo on a shirt. Wasn't it?
As we said during the week, Matt, in the end, they kind of got embarrassed to be on the shirt. They were like, take us off, quick, take us off.
Even still going. Is Magical Vegas still even going? What a terrible sponsor.
Yeah, well, they were a bad luck, weren't they? Because they were on it for a year. Then we got relegated.
Yeah.
You know, it was magical, all right. We had 1 year and we disappeared out the championship. We haven't been back since.
I used to think Radio Orwell was a bit tin pot rich back in the day, but I think Magical Vegas took it to a new level.
I like the shirt though when Radio Orwell was on.
Yeah. French.
That was a relegation one as well, Matt.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'd pay good money for Brentford to get sponsored by Corrupt FM. Radio Orwell. I think that'd be brilliant. Just have Corrupt FM on the front of the shirts. Jabadi G there at the launch, selling his packets of his egg boxes that have been crushed down for sound equipment. I love that show. That's such a funny show. Have you seen it?
No.
In bits and bobs.
Go and see it.
No idea what you're on about.
There's a film as well, isn't there?
Great film. People do nothing is what it's actually called.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And one episode they went to Ipswich. Did you know that? You know, there you go. Right. Quick word from one of our partners who is an Ipswich Town fan. Father's Day is coming up soon. Father's Day Ultimate Beer Bundle. When is Father's Day?
Next Sunday.
Oh, is it? Nice. I'll get something then.
We might have to do an evening show. We're all going to be out. Got to take advantage. Get on them beers. We'll be pissed off.
You've said that. I'm glad you've said that.
Be careful, Matt. When we had them Sunday shows, look what happened that time when I went on almighty rant.
Yeah, where is that saucepan?
Where is that washing machine? That washing machine. Yeah, the thing is, though, I got a text from his wife later on saying Matt has never emptied a washing machine in his life. And then suddenly there he was, emptying a washing machine.
Rambling around.
Lewis Robinson, Newport used to be sponsored by Goldie Looking Change.
GLC.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Newton, win the Euro Lottery, you can sponsor it with your channel.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that. No, there's much better things I'd rather do with my money.
Yeah. There'd be a conflict of interest there as well, wouldn't it? Because we'd be snagging them and you're on the shirt.
It involves a beach, private jets, and never being in England ever again. Like, why would you? Like,
what's your iFollow?
I'd be like Marcus Evans was on a yacht watching it on iFollow. You know,
I'd get seasick on a yacht, so I wouldn't go on a yacht.
When you say we're leaving anywhere, can't afford the fuel, Matt. We're just going to sit in the harbour.
We're sitting in the dock.
We're not going to sail anywhere. Come on. Right, 5 subs. EFL announced this week we're going to have 5 subs. What are we thinking about this, gentlemen? Matt, kick us off. What are your thoughts on this one straight away?
Yeah, I mean, I know you two were like getting the bin on that one, and I do kind of agree with you, but I do feel like in League One it's going to like benefit us a little bit more if we have got the same squad depth that we had last season. Of course, Lee Anderson told us we had the best squad, did he not, in the league? So effectively, you can change half your outfield players across 90 minutes. That's got to be in Ipswich Town's favour in terms of the players we're hopefully bringing in over this summer period. I only think that will benefit us against someone like a Morecambe or whatever, who looking at more youngsters and academy kids in their squad. But yeah, again, it's one of these things that's come off the back of COVID, isn't it? That no one spoke about 5, did they? It was 3. I mean, it was 2, 1. If you go back to the 1966 World Cup, no one had a sub.
No, exactly.
Now you can change it after team, so it has got a bit ridiculous. But you're seeing it in all sorts of sports. I think they've done away with. In baseball, they've changed it up slightly in terms of designated hitters, so the pitcher doesn't have to hit anymore. And that was off the back of COVID, and now that's become a thing. So you're seeing it in all sports, I think.
Mm-hmm. Rich, your thoughts?
But they still haven't bought in, Matt, a concussion sub.
No, exactly. Yeah.
This is the thing. Like,
yeah.
When we had Romeo on and we talked about like dementia in football and that, and you think now with concussion, like you see the cricket last week, Matt, when Leach got concussion, out of the game, brought in another player, and he could play a full part. So that's one thing I'd like them to bring in. The 5 subs rule, you can only use it at 3 stages, but apparently you could get around that because you can still use 1 at half time as well. So you could use 4.
So Martin was thinking that you was going to have these constant breaks in play, like you get international friendlies.
Well, you would. I still think you will do. There's still 3 stages that you can bring a player on, and no one's going to make a substitution, and this is an injury in the first 45.
Thames United voted against it, Matt, and you know why? Because obviously they've not got as deep a squad as we have.
Exactly,
and this is when they bought it in the Premier League that it would look your Man Cities, your Liverpools, the better teams in the leagues are always going to have the benefit of having better squads, so it should help us. It should.
In League One, it will. Then if we go to the Championship, it could bite us on the bum.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I don't think you really need 5. It's like, where does it stop, Martin? A few more years? Oh, we'll take it up to 7.
Be rolling subs.
You just think,
not really.
Roll off,
it will be roll off. You can come on more than once. It will be ridiculous. It doesn't stop. And I look back at the games last year, and I don't think to myself, like 0-0 with Cheltenham. If we only had 1 more sub, we would have won that game. We could have been playing for 4 days. We never look like scoring a goal. That's because tactically we couldn't change it up to be good enough. 5 subs it's just going to distort it. It's going to give teams like Cheltenham the ultimate chance to go down 3 times with cramp. Then make 3 substitutions. The final 20 minutes in a lot of games now will be absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless.
If you look, Martin, I don't know what the sort of stats are at the time that the ball's in play. You go to football, you pay a lot of money, and it should be
like 60 minutes or something ridiculous.
I think it's probably less.
Less
ridiculous. And like you say, it'll be interesting to see. Look, there'll be times when it will benefit us, and there'll be times when you're thinking we'll be sitting there, we'll get really annoyed, we'll be all booing the ref again. He'll be rolling around. Oh, there's a sub. 2 minutes later, oh, look, there's another one. Is what it is. You just got to get on with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it'll affect the speed of the game because substitutions always take time to bring themselves. You see it in international football a lot when they make 4 or 5 changes, which is not too dissimilar to what we're talking about here. The flow of the game gets stopped for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes.
You look now, it should be a 90-minute game. With the amount of subs that you're going to be making, if you got a train to catch, Matt, you're going to have to be going early.
Departing after 80. I'll see you later. Oh, it'd be interesting. So they've done this via IFAB, haven't they? I think it's the International Football Association board that comes up with the laws of the game and all that. So it'd be interesting to see then how the briefing from the professional match officials board, the Premier League thing, how that changes to combat what you're talking about. Because I can't see how the two can coexist. Martin's right in saying that, you're going to have teams going down with cramp and all that kind of thing. And we were big advocates when how do you stamp that out, that kind of gamesmanship. That has got to be in some kind of briefing ahead of the new season. I wonder if we can find out somehow what that briefing would be.
But then if we do our job, in certain games, if we can get 2 or 3-0 up, we can keep some of our players fresh, Martin. Take off your Burns, take off your Ladapos and say, right, you have 25 minutes, you can sit on the bench and we'll use it in the next game and bring someone on and get them some game time. It could benefit. I see in the chat there, and we've got Ndaba. We're probably going to talk about Cameron Humphreys at the football club. It could benefit them, lads. They'll get some game time, maybe.
So that takes the conversation full circle, then, doesn't it? From last season, we've got to be more clinical in the moments that we have.
Yeah, but Lewis Robinson, ball in play average of 54 minutes in the Premier League. There you go, nearly 60. I was nearly right. It's not. And then I think Arsene Wenger is a big proponent to lowering how many minutes you play anyway. Yeah. So it's almost like you can put your tin hat on and say, well, there you go. Have these opportunities where the game is less and less, and then they'll say, well, let's make the game 60 minutes instead of making it 90 minutes or something stupid. Because
as much as I love Arsene Wenger as a manager, we did at Arsenal and changed the game up here. Don't listen to him too much about what he's saying. He wants He wants a World Cup every 2 years. Well, maybe put 2 and 2 together there.
I look at NFL and they're all about viewer experience. They're all about experience of the viewer, be that in the stadium or at home. Yeah. Whereas football, for some reason, is all about how much we can get. So take the Nations League, for example, right? That product is being watered down because you've got players that are needing rests. So you're getting funny results left, right, and centre. If you look at the results, so that's not a quality product that it could be. I don't think these leagues now will be as quality as they could be. You don't want to. Who wants to pay 35 quid, come from America, and see Wes Barnes go after 54 minutes? You don't. No one wants to see the best players sat on the bench. As a fan, of course, but as a viewer, and football is a business. We are often told clubs are businesses.
Yeah, but we've discussed this before. The reason being in America, of course, is the TV income is just as big as the audience on TV. Takes more of a priority than the people probably in the stadium. So if people aren't, because it's such a vast country, if people in San Francisco ain't watching something in New York on stream, there's going to be an issue. They're going to lose, we can't still stream games at 3:00 on a Saturday, can we? So it's not really taken into account that.
No, we can't. Rich, Colin agrees with you. The better youngsters will develop more with new subs. I don't think they'll play. I think clubs will just fill their ranks with a journeyman, a Sonny Aluko, an Ashley Young, an Aaron Lennon, whatever it might be, because you could bring him on. He has got flashes of quality. You still won't trust a young player like a Humphreys if you are after a result. I don't see the 5 subs opening that up as much as
Premier League. Can you have? Is it 9 you can have on your bench? Can you name more?
It is,
There's still 7 in the Football League.
No, you've got bigger dugouts. All these players sitting on there, plus your coaching staff.
It's a joke.
it's
crazy,
a joke. Isn't it?
It's an absolute joke, and I think people are seeing it like Tom here is it'll benefit us because you're thinking about bringing quality on for quality, but I don't actually think it will benefit us or any team in the long run. I think it'll just distort games, slow them down, and if you've got to get your goals nice and early. That's the only thing it will make it be.
I always think with TJ, you're missing a trick. You should have him on a show with Johnny Duncan, and you've got TJ and Duncan.
That's quite a good one. I like that.
That'd be good on the YouTube. Yeah.
So, like last year, for example, the Cheltenham game, because I've referenced it. The subs that day were Piggott, Backinson, Bon, Aluko, KVY, Burgess, and Aluko. We brought on Piggott, Vincent Young, and Bon. So that leaves Backinson, Aluko, Burgess, and Haladki. Like, you're not talking like well beaters here. You weren't bringing people on here that was going to suddenly rop up and score 3 goals in 5 minutes.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like this, with League One, no squad is got 5 quality sub players to come on. Show me one League One squad that's got 5 quality stars.
We should have better quality than some of the lower down teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like a Cambridge, for instance. That's what. Why did Cambridge vote against it then, Mike?
Didn't beat them last year, did we? Didn't beat them last year, did we?
True. Very true.
Yeah.
No, didn't beat them. That was Aluko's best game. Let's not forget. That is where Aluko came alive in that. Oh my God, he's playing Aluko wide right. What's he doing? And then suddenly produces a half an hour.
I would agree with probably Stephen Perry and leader. I would say they're quality for the context we're in, which is League One, isn't it?
Yeah, still finished 11th.
Different story to the Championship, and then you've got teams coming down from the Premier League with bigger squads, and they've got their 5 subs, and suddenly we're on the flip side of the coin. Then, but let's get there first.
Anyone surprised to see Bailey Clements linked back up with Paul Cook?
He was at Ed Sheeran's concert as well, wasn't he? In the old
black shirt. He was wearing that black shirt.
Liverpool scenes. He's taken his own. So he obviously had his own name on the back. Hey, I've arrived.
Absolutely. So obviously Paul Cook did really like him, did really rate him, because that's one of the first things he's done this summer is bring in Bailey Clements, which it's nice. It means
at least he's
for Bailey.
For him, yeah. You don't. We've said before, didn't we? You don't want these kids suddenly dropping out of the game, but that is the route. Now he's gone from a League One side into the non-league, and that's difficult. And I think you'll see that probably with some of the other youngsters gone. I mean, Jack Lancaster got lucky; he was able to go from Ipswich to Cambridge, and the geography has suited him as well. But look at Bailey. But sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forward, haven't you? So good luck to him.
You have. I mentioned that.
Saying that, I think there's not a lot of difference between League Two and the Conference now.
Agreed. I don't think any of the teams that come up from the Conference ever seem to struggle, do they?
No.
When they come up. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got released. Wasn't quite good enough for us.
Shout out Paul Hurst. Well done, Grimsby.
And that goes back to our very first show when Rich said, would we have been any far worse off with Paul Hurst as manager?
It's the anniversary since he joined town, isn't it, today? I see on Twitter this morning.
Is it? Listen, I thought he was going to be a next George Burley. He's come through the ranks. He's paid his dues at Shrewsbury, etc. Done well at Grimsby, gone to Wembley. I thought he was going to go on and push on. So I was
somewhere on planet Earth, there is a banner that we must find and reunite with Matt Phillips or Paul Hurst. It's out there somewhere, friends. It's not a conspiracy. It was real.
You didn't like it, did you? I remember we had that discussion on Facebook. Was it the Norwich game? It was hanging. They had it over.
Yes, it was. They hung it down over the North Stand. Yeah, and I was so embarrassed. It was. I said he hadn't done nothing. You were like all for it, all for him, and I was like, "This is just." It
was a little bit similar with what Blue Action done with Lambert.
Hey, now don't be mentioning Lambert, right? That's different kettle of fish altogether. I wouldn't be having those two in the same sentence. Paul Lambert at least made us look like we could win a league for all the 5 minutes, granted. But we did look like we might win a league.
Paul Lambert's first few games were quite exciting, actually, weren't they? When he was the whirling dervish, we went to
Jack in the box on the line, Matt.
Yeah, I was loving that. Soon went off it, but I mean, that in that little honeymoon period, I was all in, and we were pissing Norwich fans off because he was obviously Hall of Fame, and there he is, sporting the blue and white. Oh, there we go.
He's back accepted now at Norwich. He's from what I
did like his ruckus with Tharker on the line. Oh, that was good. But he wanted that, didn't he? And
I hate that because he gave Tharker.
He wanted to make it about him. It's the Glasgow Bravado again.
Yeah, but it gave Tharker this cult-like status now, where he's got this wink.
Well, Tharker wasn't even involved. It wasn't. It was one of his coaching staff.
No, but he sits down and he winks.
The
Norwich fans just love to play that over and over again. Like when Tharker left, that was one of his highlights.
Yeah, it was.
Brilliant. Yeah, he had a ruck in the original. We got rolled over 3-0. Well done.
Yeah.
John Nolan.
Big shout out to Daniel Farker. He's finally got himself a big club. 56,000, I think it holds at Borussia. Mönchengladbach. Yeah. Finally, he's arrived in the Bundesliga.
John Nolan.
Horrendous tackle. Horrendous tackle that was. That's a red card all day long. That was.
Was it when he just suddenly stopped and kicked him?
Yeah, he's a bit of a coward, John Nolan, in the summer.
No, that was almost like an under 12s. Where the kids just run along, they stop and they turn around and kick the person. You're like, what's he done? That was so. He won the ball as well. He's running back, which went in. It was crazy. I mention it because Football Insider, You know them. They reported that Town were interested in Luton striker Danny Hilton, the 33-year-old being out of contract. Last year, just to put some stats on the news story, he was involved in 17 games, started 5. He scored 4 goals last year for Luton. Town have sort of denied it, from what I know, from what I can tell. But you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. So what are we thinking? If this was to be true,
also linked with Portsmouth. So I'll go for his clubs, Matt.
Go for it.
Aldershot, Harlow.
Down. Nice ground.
Rotherham, Bury, AFC Wimbledon, Oxford, Luton. 522 career games, 150 goals. No thanks. Move on.
Yeah.
Non-story. Non-story.
Don't phone us, we'll phone you.
Yeah. It's that's another blow, isn't it? Like we're now being linked with Luton. How the hell are Luton in the Championship? We're not. I just don't get it. They went down to the non-league and bounced back again.
Playoffs, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah,
look,
that makes us to me. We're getting linked to 33-year-olds from Kenilworth Road, an absolute hellhole of ground. Tim Pot. That goes back to Tim Pot earlier. We can do better than him, I'm sure.
It is Tim Pot, but Luton were 180 minutes away or whatever it was from being in the playoff final. So, you know, Tim Pot, but bigger pot than us. But I mention it, non-starter, get your thoughts on it, but primarily because there's a lot less rumours this year. So I suppose the question I want to know is, the Fishman thinks or wants 7 or 8 players brought in. Is no noise? Is that meaning actually we're only maybe 2 more transfers away from being completed as a squad? Or is it because it's not going to be 19? We know that, but there's nothing out there. Like the sites that rely on the clicks or whatever, they're feeding off. Well, not even scraps. Scraps look like a hearty meal.
Yeah, you got to start thinking the fees are coming now, aren't they? In terms of like the transfer windows open. I mean, while you was away, Rich, and I was on the phone to Colin, we both thought there might be a third signing while you was away. That didn't
that was great. That was. I landed in Dubai at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Turned my phone on, got the Wi-Fi, and it was like ping, 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 ping. Ladapo, there he was, and then I was watching you boys with your transfer show.
That was when you sent me that message.
You followed me on one of them apps where you could see where I was flying.
Yeah. You've done 2 planes, a seaplane, and a boat. With me, might be like, was he on hunted? I thought he was on holiday. It's unbelievable. But you got to think the fees are going to come out here. But I think. What do you think? We've done 2 signings. I would say it's going to be at least half a dozen. I would have thought.
What, 6 more?
4 more to make it 6 in total.
Yeah, I'd go 3 or 4. I agree with you there, Matt. You need your left wing back, probably another midfielder, another striker.
Strikers. Yeah, still may have a striker in there, maybe. I still think we could be another 4 in there. Yeah, Steve Parry, 3 or 4 at best. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
3 or 4. Are they? Because obviously,
bring out the Arizona wedge, the Arizona dollar. That's what we've got to start flashing.
It's the 12th of June. From memory, don't quote me. They're back on the 22nd of June.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. And what's the fixtures out the 23rd?
23rd, the fixtures are out. Yeah. Needham Market.
That's the first team. That's the first friendly on the 25th.
Yeah. Then are they after Loughborough the week after, or they're back?
I think they're going there for 2. Are they there for 2 weeks in Loughborough?
They can't. Well, they could be. They could well be. But what I'm saying is, 20th says I was 2 days out. 20th says Harry.
It's that week. Anyway.
It's that week. Yeah, it's 2 days. I mean, I can't remember my wedding anniversary. Be thankful I'm there or thereabouts. So you got to be thinking there's going to be something coming up. Like, I know it's early, but it's not early in the context of where this summer lies in the fixture in the season starting on the 30th of July, is it?
So actually, they're back. They're back in a week, then, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. But
season starts fortnight early. Is that right?
No, week
early, I think. Is it
a week early?
Is it 7 weeks this Saturday? Coming the first game, or was it 7 weeks just gone?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Before you know it, the season will be here.
Well, Lewis makes a really good point there. We knew nothing about the Dapper. I think Ashton has probably, shorn it up a little bit in terms of information getting leaked out. That's the impression I get.
So, or is there less to know?
Bit of both, maybe. Look, I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. When we spoke to him, and he told us, didn't he? There was lots going on. There's going to be lots of announcements coming. I think he's really tightened up the ship a little bit there. And the information that you historically through the Evans era used to get filtered out to those were the days and the newspaper. I don't think you're seeing it. I don't think you're seeing it. That's the reason why, which is quite good because it's a bit more of a surprise, I suppose.
Ben, Lovage, Sheeran sponsoring town. Millwall game battle of the goalkeepers. Who is best? Oh, that's not hard, Stephen. As much as I do like Christian. Joey, to be fair, it was TWG who broke the news about Bull. Christ, we're now arguing who broke the news. Somebody broke the news. TWTD, EADT, whatever it may be. Where was I? don't even know where I was when Dominic bought. Oh, I was at Suffolk Show.
Race home, didn't you?
Yeah. And then I was
they're just talking about Umbro in the chat now. That's actually on Umbro's Wikipedia page, Ipswich Town from 2022-23.
Is it?
Already? Yeah. I looked it up the other day.
There you go.
When we thought it was coming, but
there you go. I was in Audi when Ladapo signed. My phone was going absolutely mental in my pocket. I was like, "Oh crumbs, what's happened? Who's in trouble?"
We were talking about. I was talking to some ex-FA colleagues the other day, and they were saying, "Do you remember the press conference that had Campbell moved from Spurs to Arsenal? No one knew why they'd gone to Arsenal for that unveiling. So he just come out, Arsenal scarf on. So Campbell, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, can you imagine that now? It'll never ever happen now, would it? That was only what 20 years ago, less than 20 years ago."
Wasn't he on their scene tickets that year as well?
Oh, I don't know.
Spurs.
Yeah. It wasn't on Spurs' scene tickets that year. I remember, or was it Ginola when he left Spurs that he was on their season tickets?
Maybe.
I remember the first time he played. Ray Parr's got a good story, Matt, about when the first time they played at Spurs with Campbell when they came out after the game and on the bus and they were all hiding down and there was bottles raining in.
Love Ray. I did a few FA events with Ray. What a great character. He lives locally here. But so the media got invited to a press conference they knew nothing about. You could never do that now, could you? But I still like the element of surprise. Ladapo was an element of surprise and Dominic Ball as well a little bit. So I like that.
I like it. I love it. Keeps you on your toes. But there we go. Right. To round off today's show, unless there's anything I've missed. Is there anything I've missed from this week? Is there anything at all
Cameron
that
Humphreys? Cameron Humphreys?
Oh, of course. Yes. The poster boy on our thumbnail, Cameron Humphreys. Yes.
Yeah, just the guy who advertised it.
Just the guy who's on the show.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one then, gentlemen?
Well, I'm loving this kid, the way he talks. I've said this before. He seems so mature. He's got a mature head. And we saw him in that last game of the season get Charlton. He put the little assist through for Norwood. Yeah, I think he's got a big future. And he's like, because he's got his head screwed on, he says, it's going to be difficult for me to break in a team. But I felt like I've got the talent to do it. Yeah, I really like him as a character. It's quite easy for a lot of youngsters just to go, well, obviously, just try out a few cliches. But there's something of the Matt Hollands about that kid, and that's my instinct on it. So we'll wait and see.
Oh, don't overhype him too much, will you, Matt Trump? I mean, something about Matt Holland.
Big shoes to fill, but someone's got to fill them at some point. And if it can be a kid coming through our Ipswich Town Academy, well, it'll be good. Yeah. All
right, Rich. I know you like the way he talks as well, but what else about that?
I agree with Matt there. He speaks beyond what is he, Matt? 18.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. Sometimes these interviews, they say the same old boring things and you think, move on. I don't want to listen. I want to listen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to listen to him and he seems excited. What's the pathway now for him? I think, like we did say there with the subs, he might get some game time. It's a big ask. This is a big season coming up for McKenna and Ashton, and we really need to be getting out of this league. And it'll be down to the manager. If he's obviously sees him every day, he obviously rates him because he's giving him a 3-year contract. But I would be very surprised. I think he'll be around the squad to start with, Matt. He might be involved in them cup games early August.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be surprised if then he goes out on loan. Maybe just to January, and see how he sort of progresses.
Short term. Because if you think so, that makes sense. So if you're on the trajectory that we're saying we're going to get promoted this season, right? And you sent him out on loan all season to a League Two team, how would you expect him then to break into a Championship side, if you see what I mean? He's got to play some part and parcel in a League One side that takes you up. So maybe short term to January and he comes back and plays games for us. Probably makes sense. I don't see if you went to a League Two team, you'd come back into what is a Championship 11, particularly. So, he's got to get League One games under his belt. I hope he does. I mean, I'd keep him and Baggett personally. Than everyone else thinks. And I get the impression with Cameron that he'll come out that comfort zone 100%. He ain't going to do a dobber and go Colchester. He'll go. He'll do what Corey's done and go to a Salford or.
He seems confident as well. He seems a confident individual as well, Matt. You know how he talks.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's and not in an arrogant way particularly. Watch your space of him. Absolutely.
There's no time frame, is there? So even if he went to a League Two side, then came back and you're a Championship side, he could then go to a League One side. There's no time frame of a rush to get a player into your 11. But then
you're forever sending the kid out on loan, aren't you? And then time passes him by a little bit. And then do you remember Cameron Humphreys? Oh, yeah, he's gone and joined someone else.
But if he's as good as you suggest he is, or could be, then it's just a matter of a year, 2-year loan. And that's because the club progressed.
I can't see a 2-year loan. I can see a year's loan, and then it's obviously to push on to the first team. But it's all in his hands. If he has a really good pre-season, play some games, he might score a couple of goals. He might get a couple of assists, and Kieran might think, right, he's worth having around and keeping in the building. You know.
Yeah.
Down to him.
Ditto all the youngsters. It's clean slate, isn't it? Pre-season. Ditto all the youngsters are.
And that includes the young players brought in, like Raheem Harper last year. Those young players, they're young players as well.
Show what you got. Yeah.
Absolutely. Particularly now with 5 subs. If you do get your numbers called, you've got to take the opportunity when they come. I will just echo what Adrian has said here. Our YouTube member. Good luck to Simon and the boys. I know Finchy is it Finchy? I have to look at the emails, but I know somebody who watches our show is going round with them. I meant to promote it. But
cycling seems too painful for me, Matt. I watched the video this morning. They're all wearing cycling shorts, sitting on that saddle, chafing.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hammond. That's the name. Jonathan Hammond. There we go.
When I woke up yesterday, I did not think I'd become a fan of the triathlon because there was no football yesterday. I ended up watching it. The men's triathlon is about an hour. So you swim, you then cycle, you then do the run. It was great. I loved it. Really good. I don't want to do it. Oh my God. But watching other people do it, I was, the fitness level of it was unbelievable. Again, the mindset, like the guy who won it was well in the pack on the cycling, had the mindset to come through and actually win it when it came down.
What's the brothers who did it?
Brownlee. Yeah, one of them was in it.
Just remember when one of them he literally was out on his feet when his brother carried him over the line. Oh my Lord.
He was in that race yesterday. He crashed. The eventual winner clipped him on the bike. But yeah, mindset. That's the kind of mindset we need to be in next season. That winning mindset. It was interesting. But yeah, really good.
No, it is. Yeah, Jonathan Hammond. You can support his cause on the link I'm just about to post in the chat. So please
see a few guys there, Martin and Rich, giving a little shout out to Vicky.
Yeah, I was going to do that right at the end. But Jonathan Hammond is the name. Riding the Suffolk Coast, Ipswich Town Community Trust, because they're my team and it's a fantastic charity. So head there, support John if you should so wish. Good luck, John.
Yeah,
I hope it goes well. Love cycling, but not like Chris says Mike.
Yeah, I'm with you. No one looks good.
Have you got Matt's kit?
I have. Yeah, here we go.
What do you think of that? Now, if we didn't know, I've always been a big fan of Hummel since this show started. That was my little strip we designed in the week, wasn't it, mine?
It was. Yeah, I asked you as I asked Steve and TJ on Monday for if you had the chance to design a kit, what would you do? How would you do it?
Unfortunately, I'm the only one who didn't get mine made.
Well, don't worry. Rich will be on the show again very soon. I will have his kit ready.
Let me describe it to our listeners. So I've gone with Hummel. It's got the white sleeves because it's the 30 years on since we was in the Premier League, and Rich always likes the red laces. So I've done a red little collar there for you, Rich, at the top.
Mine wouldn't be far away from that because I wanted white sleeves. I was going to go with Castor.
Yeah, nice.
Yours is coming. We'll go through yours.
I've done a little bit digging, Matt, about Castor. So only founded in 2015 by Liverpudlian brothers Phil and Tom Behone.
Oh, right, wow.
Andy Murray is a shareholder. Did you know that?
No,
I didn't.
They're the official partner of the Lawn Tennis Association. They do the West Indies kit. They signed a 10-year deal with the England cricket team.
That's massive,
to do theirs. And they also do McLaren's sportswear. And obviously they've got Rangers, Wolves and Newcastle. You've got your Pumas, your Knights, your Adidas. They're the main ones. But I think Castor are now coming through. They're on about getting into the Italian market. I think Roma. There's a few teams, a few German teams getting on board with them. So
Hummel is...
I like Hummel as well.
Hummel originates from Hamburg, even though it's notorious with Scandinavian sides. It means bumblebee in German, Hummel. And I'd probably, with that blue, I'd probably have blue shorts. And I might go white socks, Rich, with a little bit of red trim at the top.
What would you do for the away kit then? Where would you go away?
Oh, give me my pink and black. Do you remember we wanted that a couple of seasons ago?
There you go. Get in.
There you go.
You're gonna have 3 kits. There's gonna be 3 anyway.
I do like that.
I do hope that Umbro really give us something bespoke. Do you know what I mean? Why would you come out of Adidas if not? You don't want template kits. Give us something bespoke. I mean, Hummel been really good at doing that. You've probably seen that with Castoria, whatever they're called. Give it something a bit, So, I mean, that away kit we had, the one we didn't like, the grey blue one, that was being used by Belgrade or something over in Croatia. Let's give us something bespoke that we can make our own. That's what kits
the one
all
that
about,
was
isn't it?
environmentally friendly. That one.
That one. That was being used by a box format. Yeah, we should have got it there, I think. There you go. I'm sure like Partizan Belgrade or someone was using that.
There's a cruncher on the top.
I'm old school. I believe kits should not be changed every single year. I think it's bad for the environment and it's an absolute waste of money. Absolutely.
Yeah,
every other year is more than enough. And also, let's get back to getting them around the ground and fans voting on it. Let's make it a real fan.
Absolutely. When you used to have in the programme, they had like 4 shirts and you could vote. Your little tick in the box.
Absolutely. Let's get back to that. Let's absolutely get back to that.
Social media is perfect for that.
I don't know where all this cloak and dagger rubbish has come from. Like, why is it suddenly I've got this huge seat? It's a kit.
Yeah. It's going to be blue and white, right? Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can still build suspense because you don't have to reveal the winner until this was the winner. Like, but it's just a load of nonsense. But your kit, I do like. It's got the nod to the Mitre days at the top with the white and the stripes. I like that. Got the nod to the 92 days with the red collar. I look at the top and I think I can see Lee Bracey sort of vibes in goal.
I do wonder I mean, Rich was chatting this. I do wonder if Umbro could do like a 30-year kit for us there, because I know they've done it for West Ham. It's the same as the shirt they used to have with Dagenham Motors on it, and they had the blue on the sleeves. So I just wonder if there's going to be like a 30th anniversary vibe about it. I hope so.
I just had a message from Simon Milton's brother, so he's doing the cycle ride. They're on the halfway stop.
I didn't know you were friends with Simon Milton's brother.
Well, I'm following him on Twitter, and he messaged me the other night because he was at the Killers.
Oh, everyone was
There's loads of town there. There's loads of town there. I came back from the toilet, and this guy was talking, and he was Ipswich. I said, "Oh, we're undercover." So I showed him my town tattoo, and we had a little cuddle, and then give each other a little wink. There's a lot of town there.
Someone suddenly shouts out, "It's the Cruncher from the Ipswich podcast," and he's like yellow and green. Chasing you.
King. Blue and white is the home. Umbro, red and black stripes away.
That'd be nice.
It would be, but haven't just brought out the copper.
Exactly. I don't think it's gonna be one that you can see with the copper, but I don't know. Actually, you can't get the red and black stripes in the copper.
You could,
not anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they do anymore.
Because I asked for it on one of the last days of the season. He said, "Oh, we haven't got that in stock at the moment." I was like,
Call me Miss Marple. But if you can't get it, it probably suggests Ben is probably right. Yeah, there you go.
But what are you going to spend your money on, Matt? Are you going to spend your money on a new shirt, or are you going to spend your money on that new tracksuit top?
Well, I was in the market for the red and black stripes, and I remember before we did the podcast, Rich in the queue buying the red and black stripes copper top with your lads.
I had it, and then the sponsor fell off.
So I would probably buy the away kit. I would buy the red and black stripes, I think. But just wait and see till they come out. We'll make it
absolutely. Right, we are hopefully back tomorrow evening at 8:30. F1 show is live at 7:15. You've got cricket on this afternoon where England are still chasing down New Zealand's batting score. How's that going?
We are, I've got it on my phone, 263 for 2. It's not a draw. Bad. It's a draw all day long. There will be a cricket show. There will be a cricket show this week at some point. Okay.
Before we leave, I do want to have give a quick message to Vicky Henderson, who's a contributor on Talking Town. She has a rough week and bad news towards the end of it. I don't know how much people know. I'm not on social media as much anymore, but basically we're a family here at Talking Town. So when one of us is going through a bad time, we all feel it with them and we all offer hands of support, which, Vicky, we do to you. And we really are thinking of you at this moment. And if you should ever need anything, I know from the chat itself, lots of messages of support. So, WhatsApp's open for you, and the chat are really sending their love and care. I don't know what's been said publicly, boys, but
she put a tweet out yesterday morning. I'll direct message her. Look, you've lost your father, and Matt's lost your dad and obviously people in the chat and the fisherman. He put a really nice message out saying that obviously he lost his mum not that long ago. And look, Vicky's a massive part of this show and we're all in
absolutely.
for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Which we really are. And yeah, we love you. But until tomorrow, 7:15, we're out of here.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you. A long